Hey guys, Kate420 back at it again. This is an important story. This is going to be short, but you guys need to. The title really doesn't give it justice because this man is, in a lot of ways, not responsible for the fact that he even had the cell phone with him in the county jail. So if you've ever been to jail, bing, 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 here's another one for you. You'll be able to know this screw up right away because the first place that you enter in the jail is what they call booking. There goes, there goes my monetization. Anyway, as if they'll ever. Mississippi. Mississippi man gets 12 years in prison for possessing a cell phone in the county jail. Willie Nash, 39, a married father of three, was in Mississippi County Jail on a misdemeanor charge. Now listen, okay? Very simply, listen to the story. A Mississippi man being held, the phone, okay, the phone was confiscated. They don't tell you. Let me just see here. According to the court documents, the married father of three handed the guard his phone and asked if it could be charged. Hang on. Of course, everything but that. Here we go. Yeah, anything, if there. Handed the guard his phone and asked if it could be charged. He was in county jail for a misdemeanor. He asked the guard was, "You got any juice?" And he set his cell phone down. Now, in booking, the first thing that's supposed to happen in booking is a number of things. When you come in to be booked in a county jail, and you're going to actually be staying there or waiting for someone to come bail you out, there's a process. And one of the first things they need to do is make sure before they put you in the cell with other people that they've already done this process with, that they search you and remove items that are considered jail contraband, including your shoelaces, because until they've done a suicide check on everyone, even your shoelaces are considered, contraband. So they take jewelry, they take body jewelry, they take any belts, they take shoelaces, they take your phone, they take purses, they take wallets, they take anything in your pockets. It goes all into a property bag. You're left with nothing but your clothes, bare feet, and empty pockets, and a good healthy pat down to make sure there's nothing left on you before they put you in with the rest of the inmates in whatever cell you are to go to. That's probably one of the very first processes. So this man made it through not only that whole process, but he managed to get it put in a regular county jail cell for some period of time before asking this guard from his cell, "Do you have any juice?" and giving him his cell phone, as asking for a charge. The guard took the phone and gave it to the sheriff's deputy. When asked about the mobile device, Nash initially denied it belonged to him. I imagine because at that point somebody went, "Bud, where'd you get that? You're in trouble for that." But eventually he gave the deputy the password to unlock it. Remember that. A court document states that Nash was using the phone to text his wife that he was in jail. She asked where he was, and he said, "I'm in jail." Mississippi law prohibits inmates in correctional facilities from possessing a cell phone. It's a felony offense with a sentence of 3 to 15 years. 3 to 15. Now, we already know that the fact that he possesses the cell phone is of no fault of his own. It was not his responsibility to say, "Hey, was I supposed to give you this too? Or is there a reason you didn't take my cell phone?" Did they come out and specifically ask him for a cell phone and he denied having it and then he had it hidden in his butthole? What? I'm sorry I said butthole. There goes my damn monetization again. Every video. I blow it. I'm sorry. I'm such a letdown. Anyway, my point is where was the responsibility of the jail? Because as you know from the title of this video, this man got 12 years. 12 years. He didn't get the minimum of first-time charge. He was in there on a misdemeanor, not a felony, not a violent felony. He's a 39-year-old father of three in on a misdemeanor texted his wife and said, yo, I'm locked up. That's where I'm at. And he thought he could ask the guard to charge his phone. He had no idea, obviously, that he was not supposed to be in possession of it until all the other inmates saw him give it to the guard and then realized, dude, you're in trouble. You wasn't supposed to have that, and they're not going to take their part. And that's exactly what happened in good old Mississippi. The law prevents inmates from, I read that part. A jury found Nash guilty of breaking the cell phone law, and a judge sentenced him to 12 years in state prison. The judge told Nash to consider himself lucky because given his past burglary convictions, he could have received the maximum of 15. Well, geez, thanks. Because at that point, my children are going to be grown either way. So whether they're grown and I get out 3 years earlier, or they're grown and I get out 3 years later, they're grown all over a cell phone that your jail didn't take from me when I came in as a booked inmate. Where's the responsibility of the jail, of the officer that did his pat down, of the officer that did his strip search? Where is the responsibility of that officer? Of course, he denied having the cell phone, giving the cell phone to the deputy. The other inmates had freaked him out at that point and told him, dude, you're going down. Why didn't you hide that shit? What were you thinking? He didn't appeal the verdict, but he challenged the sentence, saying it was grossly disproportionate to the crime and violated the U.S. Constitution, 8th Amendment, which forbids cruel and unusual punishment. Oops. A little bit higher up. On January 9th, the Mississippi Supreme Court affirmed Nash's conviction and sentence, meaning they upheld it. Justice James D. Maxwell, writing the court, said in the court document that while Nash's sentence of 12 years was harsh, it fell within the statutory range for that offense. His hands are tied, he's saying. No, your hands aren't tied. That's why you're the Supreme Court, the appellate court, whatever, wherever it was sent to a higher court, so that you could look at it and say, unbiasedly, and say, okay, I understand that the judge's hands were tied because these were his sentencing guidelines. But I can see above and beyond that this is, the man is doing more time for the cell phone that our deputy didn't retrieve from him than he's doing for the crime that he was in there for. Justice Leslie King, however, wrote an opinion and said that while he had agreed the court reached the correct result under law, he had concerns the case demonstrated a failure of our criminal justice system on multiple levels. King pointed out to an officer testified in Nash's case that the inmates being booked into jail are strip searched. Yet Nash went into the jail with a large smartphone that would have likely been impossible to hide during a strip search. It seems problematic to potentially allow someone into jail with a cell phone and then prosecute that person for, that's what I've been saying through this whole video. King said because the crime was victimless, the prosecutor in court could have taken a rehabilitative approach instead of handing down this sentence. The man handed the phone to the guard. They didn't have to shake his cell down after he let the whole pod use his phone. Well, this bothers me. This one bothers me. Because these are the many stories of the justice system that get untold. The people that get lost in that cesspool of a system where people think, oh, it's just where bad people go to get punished. But you have no idea how many people are doing hard time in terrible places for things that you would never believe. And for times that you would cry for them. And as I said in the video before I did about mothers who kill their children, yet those I came across mostly during my bid was when it came to mothers who killed their children, is they were getting 1 to 3s and 2 to 4s, rehabilitative bids where they had to come in and do programs and all this other stuff and what nonsense, but they were out before many first-time drug offenses. The failure of our justice system. If you are interested in supporting my channel and you like what I do, hit the like button, share this video. That's the best way to get any type of support to my channel is by pressing share, because the more the more interaction with the video, more YouTube has to pay attention to it, and therefore push us out on the line. So anyway, right now I'm not dealing with PayPal. It's a long story. I might do a video about it, but if you would please, or if you're interested, please hit me up on Cash App. It's on the screen. It's KAT 30420. Thank you. Have a good one. I got about 3 more to drop for you today.